Empire is brought to you by Mother's Day is right around the corner, and we are partnering with RHOA Forever so that you can get yourself or your mother figure something beautiful, something that will last at least a year. So many of you have checked out RHOA Forever in our collaborations in the past, and you said, I've had my roses for 2 years. Guys, it might be time for you to upgrade or change those roses. However, we always have a discount code for you. Kempire20MD, that's for Mother's Day, is now available for $20 off. It will only be available during this Mother's Day collaboration that we have. Be sure to check out the description for more details on how you can get roses, candles, even other beautiful flowers that will last you at least a year from our friends over at RHOA Forever. Again, more information will be available in the description. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Welcome back to the Kempire channel. Let me know if you can hear me, see me, do all the things. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. This is a special Wednesday live because I thought it was necessary to talk some more about Real Housewives of Atlanta, what's going on over there behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, on these YouTube streets. Come on. These YouTube streets are hot with Real Housewives of Atlanta. And if you don't follow me on short form, if you don't follow me on TikTok, we're not live on TikTok right now. This is why it's important to follow me everywhere, because you never know. I might not go live on TikTok. I might not go live on Twitch or Twitter in regards to, breaking news or whatever it may be. Yesterday, I dropped some tea that I got to hear. And if you missed it, you missed it. I'll talk about it here so that you guys can weigh in and share your thoughts as well. But I did want to talk about Porsha's YouTube channel and why I feel like Porsha's, not to say that Porsha's not likable on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I know some people think when I criticize Porsha on the show and her not necessarily having a storyline, you guys also don't hear when I say I like these quirky little funny moments from Porsha as well during the season. Like, I'm not afraid to tell you I don't like Porsha. I've never said that. There are things that I like about Porsha, and there are things that I don't like about Porsha. There are things that I don't believe about Porsha and things that I do believe about Porsha. But I have been giving her YouTube channel a watch here and there because I know exactly why they're doing it. They're doing it to help promote this show and those failing ratings. Let me pull up. Hold on, y'all. I want to pull up the ratings for this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hold on. Because I think it's important. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Hold on. Wait, ratings. There we go. Hold on. Let me just take a little screenshot for you guys so you can see. If you follow me on short form, I already posted and talked about this last night. Again, if you're not seeing me on your short form and you're like, Kemper, I missed this or I missed that, please just go to my page. Go to my YouTube channel, go to my TikTok page, go to my Twitter page. And a lot of times what you're looking for is there so that you're not sending me stuff that I've already reported on. Just a heads up, okay? So let me just show you the ratings for this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is episode 7. And I've told you, I was coming into this new season with an open mind. I know some of you don't believe me when I say that. No, I really was coming into this season with an open mind. And I still am. I'm not done with Atlanta. I know some people are done with Atlanta, but I'm not. I'm not done with Atlanta. I'm still keeping an open mind. Okay, but these ratings are not giving what, I think Bravo expected. And despite Bravo putting out the streaming numbers, and we know people are streaming more than they are watching traditional cable and things like that, or watching on their DVR or whatever it may be, but you're not going to get away from what fans are saying. There are some fans that are enjoying the season. I'm not disliking the season, but again, I'm probably rating Real Housewives of Atlanta on a curve because of how bad Roni was, right? So I think I look at Atlanta as like, it's not as bad as Roni yet. And maybe because it's not going to be as bad as Roni because we don't see a lot of people necessarily forcing fake stuff going on. I believe what's going on with Kelly. I believe what's going on with Angela. I can't say what I believe is going on with Brit, but we know what happened between Brit and Kenya is real. It really happened. There were witnesses to what happened there. So those things are real. Look, there are definitely a bunch of liars on this cast. I do believe that there's something going on between Drew and Ralph. I'm not 100% on what that is, but I definitely believe something's going on. Okay. So it's a little different. Amber is talking about Shannon Sharp, guys. Speaking of which, I did do a second video. Some of you may not have seen it because, you just never know with the algorithms. Go check out that video. I did give you a second update with the audio and Shannon Sharp video. He came out and talked about being shaken down by Tony Busby. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. So let's take a look at these ratings for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta's episode 7. Okay, so this is the second episode with no Kenya. All right. Mr. Melon Match says, wait, is this live? Yes. Hey, how you doing? Shout out to Ratings Bravo on Twitter. They say that this week's episode had 500,000 viewers. Okay. Series low in total viewers. And look, I always have to give this disclaimer because there'll be that one person, well, no one's watching live anymore. I understand that. I'm just giving you what we're seeing with Atlanta. What we haven't seen with the other Real Housewives shows is that every week there's a decline. Last week we saw an uptick. This week we've seen a decline. What excuse are we going to use? Okay. All right. So Ratings Bravo reports that season 16, episode 7 had 500,000 viewers. All right. Had a 0.13 in their demo, which is not a series low, but that was a part of the series low. If you've been watching our reports on the demographics actually should be a concern for Bravo because we've seen a decline in their demo, which is important to note because that is what advertisers are looking at. Okay, but this is a series low in total viewers for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nisi said the lowest of the lowest. So that's pretty, the ratings for Atlanta are going down. And again, I understand, we get it. Ratings are not what they used to be for reality television. You're seeing a decline because of streaming. But we also have to keep in mind what Bravo or Peacock wants to feed us as, we're seeing an uptick. We can't trust that. Are you going to provide the reports to prove that? Or are you just going to reveal, no, we're seeing a huge uptick in ratings on streaming? Well, according to my sources, they are concerned. And they're concerned that we're talking about the decline in ratings. And that's part of the reason why they put out that story a couple of weeks ago in regards to streaming numbers and the premiere episode being the biggest. It's definitely the Donald Trump of it all. It's just we had the biggest election. We had that is exactly what these people have been doing since the beginning of time, and that's what they continue to do. But there definitely is a decline in ratings, and word on the street, according to sources, they are concerned. They are concerned. And that's why this is a perfect segue to get into this part of the live that I wanted to talk about, because I am going to break down, I'm not going to watch the entire video with you, but we are going to break down different parts of Porsha's video. As always, I'm citing my sources. I will be posting a link to both the videos that we'll be overviewing today. And of course, our review and research for news reporting is covered under copyright for fair use. I'm just going to put that out there. But here's the thing. I believe Porsha going to YouTube isn't just Porsha wanting to go to YouTube or Porsha trying to get that YouTube bag. There is no YouTube bag for those of people that are trying, I want to get the YouTube bag. There is none. If you're not a known person, you're going to have to start like how I started from the bottom up. Okay. And you can't come to YouTube and get 50, Kenya has nearly 50,000 subscribers since she launched in the last week. You can't do that. I mean, you could, but the probability is not going to be the same without the name. But I believe Porsha decided to come to YouTube in a strategy with the network. I really do believe that. This was a strategy with the network. They saw what it's done for Married to Medicine, because you saw what Dr. Heavenly said to Andy when asked about her YouTube behavior. He was like, Andy, do you want me to stop going on YouTube? And Andy had to give her back like, well, if you were talking crap about me, yes. But that was Dr. Heavenly looking at Andy as a Bravo executive saying, do you really want me to get off of my YouTube channel? Because they believe that it's hurt, that it has helped the show, not hurt the show, for Married to Medicine. To the point where Married to Medicine was getting higher ratings than Real Housewives of Atlanta at the end. So I do believe that it's strategic that Porsha's now here on these YouTube streets. And I don't mind it because, like the title says, I feel as if Porsha might be better on YouTube than she is on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And maybe because she has control of what she's sharing versus Bravo and production having control of what they share of Porsha's life. But a lot of us have said in our recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta over the last couple of weeks is that it feels as if Porsha's dragging an issue with Drew. She does talk about that in her latest video as well. So I want to get into that. As always, for those that are just joining us, we're just analyzing these videos, and we're going to talk about Nene Leaks, and Nene Leaks coming for all of us, the bloggers. We're going to talk about that. All right. Tier says Porsha coming to YouTube is definitely helping her financially. Another form of income. She's selling her go naked hair and sheets. Of course, but I think that is just a bonus for her. Because please understand, I understand YouTube analytics. I understand how much Porsha could possibly be making on YouTube. That check in comparison to what she makes on Real Housewives of Atlanta ain't the same. It ain't the same. Please understand. 1 or 2 videos a week is not going to be garnering her huge numbers, okay? So just keep that in mind. But I do believe it is a benefit to her, but more so a benefit to bringing people into the show. Doesn't seem like it's helped so far, though. And go look at Kenya's new video. That has nearly, 400,000, probably has 400,000 views. It's garnered her almost 50,000 subscribers. For people that say that Kenya didn't bring anything to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm like, I don't know if you can say that. If you look at the numbers. But okay, we will get to that. And I am going to talk more about the tea that I dropped yesterday. Again, if you didn't see my short form video on TikTok or on Instagram or here on YouTube, go check out that video if you don't want to wait. Because I did talk and drop some tea that I got from a little birdie, as J Hud loves to say. J Hud, they making fun of you, girl. All right. Let me get into this because, again, I'm not watching the entire video. We're going to watch a good majority, though, because I don't want to miss certain parts because she does talk about the episode. Let's just get into this, and then we'll get into the Nene of it all.
Now, you got to be in come on.
Okay, pause. PJ, because we don't see, and that's one thing I can respect about Porsha. We don't see a lot of PJ on reality television, on socials and things like that. She's really good about protecting Pilar, PJ, from this world. And you could tell, all right? PJ is the spitting image of Porsha when Porsha was a little girl. Like, they are twins. And I'm not, yeah, we get that that's her mom. But no. They are spitting images of each other. Adorable. I'm not going to go through this. They do a little cake test together. So you get a little bit of PJ on her YouTube channel. So this was a really cute moment, but I'm going to fast forward. Look at her. Look at that face. Adorable. And look, I'm sure Porsha's happy as hell that PJ looks more like her. Come on. We all are happy. We all are happy PJ looks just like Porsha. Okay. All right.
Because, yes.
Okay. Adorable. Okay.
Oh, my God. That is not overbearing. Sometimes we're not even thick, man.
And this cake testing portion of her video speaks to my Taurus self. Happy Taurus season, because I love me some cake. All right. Wait, look, I'm parched. Oh, okay. Joy says, all I see is Dennis when I see PJ. Go look at those baby pictures. Go look at those baby pictures. Go look at those baby pictures of Porsha. I think a lot of people are judging off of what Porsha looks like now. Go look at baby pictures. Google schmoogle it right now. Go look at baby pictures of Porsha. PJ looks like Porsha. All right, let's move on.
It's just my bones because I love milk. So let's talk about my girl Cynthia is dating a younger man, and I love it. Can I say it for the record? I really love it. I think the best thing right after a divorce is to date a younger man. Now, I don't know how this one is going to work out for me because I'm not quite divorced yet. But for Cynthia, I think the guy who she's dating is perfect. It just brings a new life, a new energy out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? I think this is the year of the cougar. You know what I mean? And actually, I don't even know.
Is this the year of the cougar, y'all? The way y'all be hitting on me, my gay self, you would think so.
Still calling it cougar. I think this is just how women over 40, over 50, this is how they date. They just date younger, and it is what it is. The older guys are steady dating younger, and we're steady dating younger. Speaking
of which, and we could do a separate live talking about the Shannon Sharpe thing because I feel like it's worth having a conversation. Do I believe that Shannon Sharpe there's a money grab? And sidebar, I did see the update in regards to Tony Busby releasing information that Shannon Sharpe offered this now 21-year-old, I'm thinking, or maybe she just turned 21, who he met when she was 19, and he was 50-something years old. And I know some people are like, well, that's legal, but the power dynamics there. But apparently he offered her $10 million. Okay, I'm only mentioning that because it makes sense to what Porsha's talking about right now.
I guess they're not looking for each other. Everybody looking for younger. You know what I'm saying? Now, not me just yet, but I do believe in it. I love the glow that Cynthia has. Her joints look dislocated. Like she looks like she is being...
See, and that's what I was talking about on our Atlanta recap. I was listening back to the Atlanta recap when I talked about Lenny Kravitz and Cynthia not, carrying on and going through. I kind of wish she got with Lenny Kravitz, but if this man is breaking her back, fine. But just saying,
dealt with properly, okay, properly. These birds. Dang, we need to get their name and get a release because they are loud as hell. Can I do my thing? Not they actually got quiet.
See, like these are the moments, and I've seen this on the latest season of Real Housewives of Atlanta with Porsha that I'm like, and this, some people thought I was being mean or shady by saying she's giving Friend Dove vibes. No, she is giving Friend Dove's vibes. I don't see anything wrong with it. But like these quirky little funny moments, I actually really love from Porsha.
I would say that when you first come out of a divorce, you're not really looking for like Mr. Right. You're looking for someone who can keep the peace that you are now regaining. You are looking for someone who is there to celebrate who you're becoming. So no, it doesn't necessarily...
Was that Dennis? Because wasn't Dennis after her divorce? Okay.
Need to be like the guy who you're gonna marry, and he has to have all of this money. He has to be of this age and this status and this everything. It doesn't. You just really want someone who's gonna support who you are and who you want to be. And that's really just someone who's going to play their part, play their role in your situation. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. So if that comes in a younger package, I am all for it, okay? All for it. Is it hard to trust women in the friendship group? I think that was also talked about to a certain extent. I would say for me personally, it's hard to trust women, period. I've had all kind of situations when it comes.
I find that to be so interesting. And this is shade, but not shade. Well, not shade, but shade. You find it difficult to trust women in a group? Okay. I'm not going to even add context there because you guys that know the story know the story. And I don't care that Fallon wasn't her friend in real life. I just find this interesting coming from her.
To best friends, people who I've let in close, and they haven't always ended well. And I think when it comes to the group, a person like me, I immediately want to trust. Like, I'm the type of person, I want to give you my trust, and then you probably prove to me that I shouldn't trust you. But as I get older, I'm learning it's better to maybe hold your space a little bit more, get to know someone, then open up to them. So I would say in the group, it is a little difficult to trust immediately. Number one, a lot of these girls are new to the group, so you don't know what their motives are. You know what I mean? You don't know if someone's just trying to have a moment, someone's trying to get to know your information so they can use it on you later, or are you having a genuine connection with them? And so I think that makes it difficult when it comes to deciding whether you're gonna trust somebody in the group. So I would say trusting somebody in a group, 10 out of 10, I would say you need to be like a 3 out of 10. Don't trust it until they have proven themselves as a friend. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just how I think it is. Don't forget to like the mixed text.
And as always, guys, I will be citing my sources in the description so you can subscribe and check out Porsha's stuff if you want to. Right now, we're analyzing her latest video, and we're going to talk about more so the things that she's talking about what in regards to what's playing out during the season.
So I would never eat the strawberry with the cake. I talk about Charles.
Angela's Charles, not Netta.
And yes, I'm saying his name like that because I am at home by myself and Angela is nowhere to be found, okay? But there's a lot of talk about Charles, and it's not necessarily from me. Apparently, there is a rumor that is being resurfaced. It's not a new rumor.
The rumor is that Charles had a baby while he was married to Angela. Remember, there's a clip going around where Wendy Williams, when she was still on her daytime talk show years back after she left Kelvin, and she revealed that she had hung out with Charles Oakley and Angela had mentioned that he Kelvin just had a side baby, and she was like, just had a side baby. I'm paraphrasing. This isn't the exact words. And she was like, is that something that you would put up with? And basically she admits to Wendy that she did. But now on these internet streets, Angela is saying, no, that's not true. I'm like, okay. That was random for Wendy to say something like that years ago, only for it to be playing out in our faces. But okay, Angela.
Nothing that just came about just right now about Charles having a baby on the side with Angela. And listen, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. When you sign up to be on a space like this, in a space like this, and it's open for everybody to have judgment, it's open for everybody to look up anything, it's open for people to research you, whatever is dug down deep, whatever's under that rug, they're gonna lift it up and they're gonna sweep it out. So apparently there is some story of some sort about a baby with Charles. I don't know much about it. Clearly, there are other girls within our friendship group that know way more about it, allegedly, and feel like this is a true story, allegedly, with him having a baby with someone on Angela. This is the part of the show where I say it's a little unfortunate. I would say it is definitely unfortunate. But Angela, she is definitely coming in with this very strong energy with certain people. And sometimes when you come in with this really strong energy, it happens to come right back around to you. And sometimes it can take time, but with Angela, I feel like it's gonna whip that bitch quick. It's gonna whip around real quick and it's gonna come back on her. And I think that is what is happening. So I don't know about that whole, situation with Charles allegedly having a baby on the side. I just think it is just unfortunate because I think that no one who joins the show wants any dirty laundry to come up in that way. You know what I mean? I mean, who would? Anybody joining the show, bringing their husband on, you would think they want to show the best side of their life, the best side of their family. Oh, we're good together.
I also don't understand why Angela is, and again, this might be part of the reason why Andy Cohen has compared Angela to a Sheree. And I do feel like he was saying that in almost a shady way, in both comical but shady way, because I'm starting to see it more and more. The way she carries herself on the show, but also where there are basic truths and things that can't really be denied. Because like someone also said, I think it was K-Baby that said, I don't believe Wendy lied about that. Remember when Wendy was saying this, she was comparing this to what she was going through. And she said this way before Angela was even on the show. So, and this was years ago that she mentioned this.
Talk. He calls me all the time. We're good. We're in, like, we have a great family. No one wants to show that part. This is that part that you end up signing up for. And when you partake in talking about other people's situation, trust and believe they are going to also talk about yours. So I guess we all have to see how that plays out. Y'all got to see how it plays out. I know how it plays out, but y'all have to see how it plays out. I won't speak too much on it because I actually think that's part of a downside of being on here. And it kind of is what it is. Drew and Angela have a conversation, and they are talking about, I don't even remember what Drew and Angela talked about. It's so funny because I feel like when they showed like a piece of it, they showed her saying something about my car.
And what Porsha's referencing, because you remember the trailer, there was a portion from that conversation between Angela and Drew that is not in the final edit that we see in this week's episode. I completely forgot about that. And sidebar, for those that are getting a little bit of an echo, I have to do that again to protect copyrights and things like that. But if you subscribe to the podcast version, you could hear it nice and clear and crisp. But right now, you're going to have a little bit of echo because I'm also giving you commentary in between. Okay, all right.
Needed to get us. It was kind of weird. Like I saw a part, or it was a commercial where she said something about Porsha needs to worry about her Rolls Royce because I heard it's about to be repoed or something. But then when I saw it, I didn't see her say that. So I know she said it because I saw her say it, but I didn't get to see the context or whatever. I don't know. I thought that was weird. Like at the end of the day, girl, if you did something and someone is upset with you or someone feels a way, don't now turn and attack them. So I don't know. I thought that was weird. I don't know. Whatever. But just for your information, I'm very much still in my Rolls Royce. Anyway, next. So Angela reveals that surprise.
She's still in her Rolls Royce, and she's still up in her. This is her home that she was not able to film in during the season. I keep reminding you guys this. Remember, there was that legal battle between her and Simon Guobadia. I think he's still with ICE, y'all. I haven't heard about it. Like if Simon was not with ICE, we would have heard from Simon on social media. Okay, please understand that. All right. So she was not able to film during the season. She only got access back to the house to film after the season had wrapped. So now she's able, again, another motivation probably for her to do her YouTube channel. Now she can film from the home. The home is actually really nice. This is the backyard. I'm glad it's like she's giving us a mini tour of this $7 million mansion in her Georgia mansion. So, all right, let me continue.
She had a nose surgery. And, I mean, not much of a surprise there. I think it's kind of like the worst kept secret. A lot of girls have had a nose job. A lot on the show have had a nose job. I'm not one of them. I love contour. If I had a nose that needed a job, I would sign it up, okay? I have no problem with people having plastic surgery. I just think that plastic surgery should look natural. And that's not to say hers does or does not. That's for y'all to judge. But I think, when you are doing anything to enhance your body, as long as you're doing it for yourself, okay, and you're doing it because you want to look good, I have no problem with it. When it comes to fillers, Botox, any kind of thing. If you want lipo, if you want breast implants, get your booty, whatever it is, I am an advocate. And I'm not really an advocate, but I'm all for women doing what they want to do. And I'm all for people shutting the hell up about it, okay? So yeah, I do think that once you do get a nose job, if it's not balanced, definitely go to someone who can help you figure it out. So I understand what she was saying when she was like, she got it chopped down and then she wanted to get the cheeks bigger or put some more in the...
Pause. Dina the Explorer says, Porsha, you said on a reunion that you got your nose done. Can someone clip that and send that to me? Hit me up on Twitter or DM on Instagram. Because I was a little confused by that. I was like, wait, I can't. And that's the thing with Housewives. You can't keep up with the lies because there's so many. And I just don't understand why she would lie about that when it's documented. But again, if you can find it, send it to me. Dark and Lovely says, wow, Kempire, while I was writing that, you mentioned it. But okay.
Nose. Yeah, just go to Epion in LA. Girl, he hook you up. He do most of the Housewives. Okay, he got you, girl.
Now dropping the doctor's name. Remember, we said for her to go to the doctors on Botch to get it fixed if she wants it fixed. Look, we have to keep in mind, and I think this is my role in because I know so many people have thoughts on the work that any of these housewives do. We have to remember, can you imagine yourself on a reality show and people picking apart how you look? If you got some belly fat or if you had a nose job, like, can you imagine if you were in that position? I know what some of you are going to say, but I'm not on a reality show. But still, a lot of the things that you were never insecure about, a lot of times these reality personalities start becoming insecure, and that's why you see them get all these surgeries and things like that. Amina says that she had a non-surgical procedure for her nose. What's that? I know that there are plenty, but like, what's the name of it? Okay. She didn't get rhinoplasty.
Shit right on out. I mean, I think you look great once you put your makeup on, but go to him and he can balance your stuff out because it's not that bad looking, but whatever you're seeing in the mirror you want to fix, trust me, bitch, he can fix it. He can get you right on together, boo-boo. He got you, okay? Now, on the topic of plastic surgery, yes, I'm sure y'all heard me say that Coco Chanel is now Ben and Jerry. What I say, Ben and Bob? Baby, they have changed over the years. So yes, I am definitely getting them redone. I know. Everybody is like, Porsha, your breasts look fine. Don't get them done. But no, I feel like, after I breastfed, I want to get them done. So I'll be getting that done at the end of the month. I might take y'all along with me. Y'all want to go with me?
She will.
Okay.
She will take us on, because if you've been following her YouTube channel, that's why when she said this during the season, I was like, well, she's changed her mind. She's definitely going to get it done. And I wouldn't be surprised if she does take us on the journey with her. I can't say to you that I will be following. I'm only mentioning some of this because it's related to our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. If you missed that, be sure to check that out here on our YouTube channel. All right? All right.
I might take y'all with me and let y'all see the whole process of like what it is. Like, they look great, but like, we got to reposition things. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they looking at cockeyed. You don't know if they're looking at you, him, her, there, up, down, round, around. We don't know. So I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them back where they need to be. Okay? So Drew and Brit had a conversation. By the way, I think they both looked so cute at this conversation. Like, this is what I'm talking about, housewives. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the youthful energy. Like, I think...
Pay attention to this part. Again, this is why I believe her YouTube channel is not just for her to get in, the YouTube bag. I feel like it's a promotional effort from Bravo and production saying, yeah, you should get on YouTube. This will help promote the show, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people have been critical of this, quote, youthful love and hip hop, Zeus sometimes energy.
Am I the oldest on the crew? I'm not. No, Cynthia's the oldest. But I think I'm older than most of them. I like this don't y'all like this new refreshed look of Housewives with the younger girls? I think this is cute. I really do. I did not expect a scene from Brit and Drew, but it was okay. It was cute seeing them together. Now, I will have to say, Drew, like, who signed her up to be the one to hold Brit accountable when she need to be held accountable? But okay.
Pause. So Casey Loves Mina says the video of her getting nose fillers is on YouTube. She meant she didn't get a surgical nose job. Okay, thank you for that. The other part of this, though, I wish she would have said that, though, because clearly there is a difference. And people are going to be like, well, Porsha, there is a difference in your nose. So what is that? She just said it was contouring. Fillers and Botox, that's still something. I feel like that's not being truly honest to people that might want to do what you did. Maybe they don't want to go get a nose job and they just want to do filler or something like that. If you're going to tell the truth, tell the truth. That's why sometimes I wonder with some of these housewives, I'm just like, you give us half truth without giving us the full information.
Okay. I do think that Drew did her job at asking her questions. I'm not going to say hold Brit accountable because at the end of the day, Brit's already held herself accountable. I mean, damn, are we just going to beat a dead horse? The girl is like, okay, I'm bleeding out. I know, I have a past. Like, let it.
Yes, I understand where Portia's coming from, but without it, that was my favorite scene from this week's episode. My favorite scene was this sit down between Brit and Drew saying, did you sell it? Sell what? The cat? No. But I don't know if I mentioned this during our recap. I thought Brit's reaction was quite telling. Like if you didn't have to be a body language expert to be like, girl, you're not telling us any truths right now. I feel like the body language is body languaging. All the can't get your words out. She's like, did you sell it? Did you do corn? For me, that was the best part of the episode. Drew had me rolling in that moment. It was the best part. If you didn't watch the episode and you just want one part, go to that. It's a very short scene between Brit and Drew. It's like mid episode. It was the best part of the episode. Did you sell it? So what? The cat? I mean, Drew, you just should have said the puss. Just say, same thing. It would have given it a little bit more flavor. All right. Joy said, Drew had me gagging just like Brit. We didn't see that coming, and I was here for it. It was my favorite scene. And I don't feel like, yes, I get where Porsha's coming from. It feels like we're dragging Brit and her having a past. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with her having a past, but I appreciated that scene so much. Okay.
Go. But since Drew wants to, drag it on, I guess, and like what y'all say.
Like you're dragging this beef with Drew? Okay.
Hold her accountable. She asked the right questions and Brit answered them. Like, what else can you say? Who doesn't have a past? We don't have the same past, but Brit owns who she is in her past. And
you didn't even want to answer Kelly in your immediate past. Why'd you take that woman's husband? I just find that to be interesting. It's the hypocrisy when it comes to Porsha.
Who she is now is a beautiful person, and everybody learns from their past. Everybody can become someone else. And so, yeah, I think it was difficult for Brit to have that conversation, but I felt like she dealt with it with grace. I really do. I felt like she did not, beat Drew up. She did not chop her head off. She answered her questions. See how when you ask, it's how you ask, right? It's how you want to bring something out with someone's past. It's how. She did a one-on-one, asked her question, and Brit was able to answer it. Not like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't this big thing. So, yeah, I like that Brit is honest. I feel like Brit...
This is interesting, and this is the part that was going, I wouldn't say viral, but this was the part where a lot of people were talking about from Porsha. For those that are just joining us, Porsha, we're examining and breaking down Porsha's latest YouTube video. Again, we're doing this under the fair use copyright. We're breaking down and doing this for research purposes. Okay. This was a part that people were sort of like, oh, is this why Kenya and you had the falling out? She feels like you remember Kenya went on social media and put up Traitor, and some people thought, oh, Kenya's going to be on Traitors. No, she had this because of the picture that Porsha had posted with Brit. So listen to what Porsha has to say about Brit and her being a good housewife.
In her truth, and I like that she can own who she is. That is quintessential when it comes to a real housewife, okay? Those are the ones that make it past one season. The ones that, honestly, I want to say right or wrong, but normally it's just you standing in your truth. Whatever you believe, whoever you are, you own that. And what you say, you can stand behind. That is a housewife that can last season to season to season to season. Yes, they make...
But you also have to be interesting. That's the one thing I will always give Porsha. With a good cast of women, she's a great addition to a cast. Because she could be funny, she could be witty, she could be shady, she can engage, she can lie, but the lie is sort of like, girl, we know you lying. I'm not getting that from Brit. I'm still going to keep an open mind, because if Brit does something funny or witty or interesting or shady or classic housewives, I'm going to give her that credit. What I've gotten from her, and we're on episode 7, I'm not getting that vibe.
Mistakes. Yes, they're imperfect, but you know who they are and you know what they say is their truth. So I do like that. I definitely do like that about Brit. Okay, so this one is from Dairy Queen. This one is Dairy Queen's signature all occasion.
Let me just answer this for some of you that are just joining us. The reason why she has so many cakes, because this was her birthday episode, meaning on Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was her birthday episode. She's a Cancer, so her birthday has gone, and it's coming back around this summer. but she's testing out birthday cakes from different places. So that's why there's birthday cake. She's been doing this since she started her YouTube last week. So the previous week she had like a bunch of seafood and things like that. The first episode, it was like Church's chicken. So she's testing out food right now. Okay.
Asian cake. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I do not like when textures mix. Like, y'all know how some people, it may be good for cake.
I do like a cake though.
Of course, this whole
don't y'all like birthday cake?
My birthday, right?
And I don't mind like mixing cake and ice cream. Like you know, when you go to like Cold Stone and they mix the cake and the ice cream and I don't mind that. I actually like that. But okay.
And show. And it's kind of early still, because when I filed February, this is June, it's still kind of close. My ex's birthday was on June 2nd, mine 22nd. So we would just use the whole month for our birthday and split it in half. And so the first half we would celebrate for him, second half would be to me, and we would either travel to another country for both of us or either split it with 2 different countries. But either way, we made it a big...
Those times when you have to get into the second line? Okay.
Deal for both of our birthdays. And both of us were the type of people to where when our birthdays prior to us getting together, we didn't really make a huge deal. Like the very first time I had a big birthday party was with him for my birthday when we first got together. So birthdays were a huge deal for us. So this was my first birthday not being able to spend it with him, and I had been spending 3 birthdays with him. So I didn't want to do anything for my birthday, honestly. I really didn't, but I have to say a huge thank you to my team and Lauren is included.
I think this part is interesting because she's saying that her team helped do this Nashville trip. And yes, the housewives sometimes are involved in it, but usually it's production that is plotting and planning this cast trip. Part of the reason why we were like, this is why it has to be a part of it. But listen to this part.
Lauren, my boo-boo there, she is definitely included. Lauren, my manager, my sister, everybody, my assistants, they all put this together for me because I couldn't plan anything. Like, even when they asked me, they were like, oh, well, what are you gonna do? We're in the middle of filming. What are we gonna do for your birthday? I'm like, not a damn thing. I'm good. Let's just do something else. And they all put this trip together. So that's how that ended up happening. Because if it was left up to me, I just would have just probably not skipped it, but just done something really small. So to have it be a birthday trip and these women come, it really meant a lot to me. It really did. Especially the women who flew in, Monietta, Ami, Chanel, my sister, Provi, like these.
That flight is not that long, but I get it. We appreciate when our friends show up for us, but I was like, that flight is not that long. An hour and 5 minutes. You saw production being shady, letting you guys know, and I've done it before because when we had the Nashville show and then we had the Atlanta show back to back, literally like an hour flight, if that.
These women flying in, it meant a lot to me. It really did because, when you're going through a divorce, you really need that sisterhood. You really, really do. And they helped me come out of like that whole doom, that dark mindset of a divorce and celebrate myself in the midst of it all. And so that was a beautiful thing. Okay, so this is the piece of cake birthday cake. 8 out of 10. I would definitely give it 8 out of 10. I would have to say by far the best cake in front of me has to be the Publix coconut cake. Okay, so this one is the Publix cake. Dang, we got a lot from Publix actually. Publix cake, carrot cake.
I do hear Publix, some of the food items from Publix, especially the cakes. Costco cake I hear is really, really good. I don't think I've ever had Costco cake. We don't have Publix up here in New York City that I know of, no. I don't think, we don't have Publix. Anytime I've ever even known of a Publix is when I went down south or like Florida.
And I actually like carrot cake.
I hate carrot cake.
I like carrot cake.
But you know what cake I like carrot cake flavor Oreo cookies. I don't know if they're still available. There was a time when the carrot cake Oreo cookies were out. Oh, those were delicious. But I don't like carrot cake. But that's me.
Can be pretty delightful. I don't know. I know carrot cake is not healthy. Like, clearly, it's still like a cake. But something about it being called carrot cake, I'm like, this is a healthy treat. Yeah.
Okay.
And the cream, I feel like they could have made the icing like creamier. Like if they'd put this icing on that carrot cake, chef's kiss. We'll be in that bitch, okay? We'll be in there, okay? Angela inviting Drew was definitely...
This is an important part because it gives a little bit more context to Porsha's frustration with Angela that you don't see in the edited version. Because it's sort of like, okay, you're dragging it with Drew. Not dragging it with Drew. Drew, why don't you do something with that? I know you did drop it with Drew, but dragging it with Drew. Maybe that should be your YouTube channel, Drew. A lot of people are wondering why you're not out promoting your new project. But I think maybe for one of these episodes, you'll be doing that.
A bold choice. I would say that. It was a bold choice. And it was not a smart choice for your friend. Once she told me she invited Drew, no big deal. Like, okay, at the end of the day, if you want to bring her and she's already on the way, so be it. It wasn't a big deal, but Angela was making it such a big deal. She just kept talking about Drew everywhere we went. If we were on the bus, you know, Drew's coming. How do you feel, Porsha? When we're at dinner, oh, Porsha, yeah, so Drew's coming. I know you feel away.
And I think part of, and I said this during our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap, I feel the reason why Angela even did it was because production told her to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Angela was doing production's dirty work by constantly bringing up the fact that Drew was coming. Or she could just be one of those people, you know, one of those people that have those kind of personalities, like, how are you feeling? You know, Drew's coming kind of thing.
I have not said anything. I don't know how many times I can say that it's okay. Like, I don't have an issue with her. When we're at the dinner table, they're just asking me, hey, Porsha, where's Drew? Because they're wondering where she is, because obviously, if we're friends, she would be on the trip, right? So then I had to explain to them, oh, she's not here. It was something that happened. It's their choice. It's here nor there. But of course, Angela, when I say that, she's like, no, Porsha, tell him what Drew did. Tell him that Drew was with Dennis and tell him. And I'm like, why are you being messy? I would have to go so far as say that Angela was bullying the table. Like, she would say we were bullying her. Like, no, girl, you're just doing too much.
Not Angela's a bully.
I don't know. I was just like, Angela, relax. All right, y'all, that was so fun.
And I won't make you suffer anymore, but I wanted to break this down for research purposes and fair use. I wanted to break down this video of Porsha talking about Brit, the episode, her issues with Angela, because I felt like it added context, but I also want to talk about Nene. Before we get to Nene, though, guys, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Let me switch out of here and say thank you, because we had a few super chats. Mr. Mellon and Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. Mellon says, give them a break this week since it was Easter. I give them a break this week in regards to the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta getting only 500,000 viewers. Every week there's an excuse, but okay, yes, it was Easter, so people were with their families and they were not watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. Good point. All right. Tyler, thank you so much for the super chat. Tyler says, happy birthday to me, villain era. Happy birthday, Tyler. Happy Taurus season. Shout out to all the birthdays. Don't forget, Tauruses, if you want a birthday shout out from me, I'm on Cameo. The Aries went all out this season to get birthday wishes from me. So if you want a birthday wish from me personally, check out the description for Cameo. Nicole, thank you so much for the 2 super chats. Nicole says, Faktra always blasted RHOA for being a sinking ship as to why she, quote, left. So Faktra, you're back and now it's the Titanic. Please explain. I mean, the Titanic sank. Nicole, thank you for another super chat. Nicole says, hold on, Nicole, I need this to come up. There we go. Kempire, notice she's eating outside after you said come on. How nasty her bedroom was last time. Yep, she's listening to you from a burner account. Wait till we listen to Nene's. I do want to say this. I don't think I meant to say that her room was nasty. It was just very cluttered and disorganized. Nasty is a whole other level. So I probably just misused the word. I saw some of you had a big reaction to me using that word. It's just, if you saw my apartment, you're probably like, oh, I get why he feels that way. Because, not that I'm OCD, but like, my neighbors don't wipe their front. The what's that thing called at your doorway? At the bottom. Oh, I can't think of the word, but you guys will let me know in the live chat. Like, I wipe mine down. I walk past some of my neighbors, y'all, and then like, it's dusty. Y'all don't wipe y'all floor. Judging. Jamaican though. Jamaican, West Indian, just saying. V, thank you so much for the super chat. V says, my coworker hit her wedding cake. Oh, wait. Got her wedding cake from Publix. It was really nice. Only paid $100. Her wedding cake? I mean, I've heard that. As I said before, I've heard that about Costco cakes and things like that as well. No, not the doormat. It's the, oh my God. You guys will tell me. It's literally, it's the solid piece that at the door, not the, it's at the threshold. Okay, come on, hold on. Not the floor mat. We're not supposed to have floor mats, even though some people do. Come on, let me speak to, just in case either. The baseboard, not the baseboards, because the baseboards is along the wall. I wipe those down too, but some of these people don't do that. But yeah, at the threshold though, and like mine is black, so you could see dust a lot more. So I wipe mine down, and I wipe my door down. Okay, not the doorstop. It's called something. I can't think of the name for some reason. Apparently, all of us can't think of the name. Yes, Tiffany, the landing, not the baseboards along the wall. It's the landing, like where the door, when you close, where you step on it, okay? It's called a saddle. Saddle's another word for it. Not the kick plate. I wipe that down too, but we don't have a kick plate on these doors, okay? Anyway, we have digressed, okay? We have digressed. But yeah, I wipe mine down, but I notice my neighbors don't. Judging. Every time I come off the elevator, I'm going into my apartment. That's getting real dusty. maybe they feel the building's supposed to wipe that down. Nope, I wipe mine down. Okay, but anyway, here I go judging. But yeah, I didn't mean to reference that it was nasty. It was more sort of like it was cluttered. It was like disorganized. It was just a lot of stuff. Also, I didn't love the decor. Okay. Yes, Nene, the landing, not the kick plate. All right. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. We're gonna move on. More information on Rose Forever will be available in the description. If you can see, hold on. Some new roses that I got from Rose Forever. Some new ones. Soraya, email us, kempiredaily@gmail.com. You were one of the winners yesterday. You weren't in the chat, but it's okay. Email us today, kempiredaily@gmail.com. We'll get you some roses. I don't know why y'all dropping roses. I didn't say I was doing a giveaway, but don't forget you can get $20 off right now with our discount code Kempire20MD for Mother's Day is available in the description. You stay locked. We will be doing more giveaways with Rose Forever before Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Taurus season. Happy April, I guess. We're about to move into May, but that's my birthday month. Come on. All right. So yesterday we dropped a video on TikTok first. Then we dropped it on Instagram and on short form here for those that may have missed it. We had an exclusive story in regards to Kenya Moore. And Kenya Moore being offered a special. So one of my biggest questions when Kenya did her video, if you missed my recap of Kenya's video, be sure to check that out, Moz, if we can post that in the description so people, in the live chat so people can get quick access because I know people are lazy. They're not going to go Google Schmoog like, I'll get to it later, and they don't, but it's all right. We recapped it. We broke down that video. Okay. We broke down that video. And one of the things that stood out to me was that Kenya said in that video that she was invited, because she was asked a fan question, she was invited to the reunion, but then disinvited. So I had questions. I was like, let me reach out to some sources about that. Okay, so I reached out to some sources and some information got back to me that Kenya was offered, allegedly, I'm going to say, because you never know, offered a special. A special? I'm thinking that would be a one-on-one because there's no way they're going to have Kenya sit down and it not be with like an Andy Cohen. So a one-on-one, I'm assuming, with Andy Cohen to address all of this stuff. And according to my sources, okay, a little birdie, like J Hud would say, tells me that this was offered when everything was going down. When we first heard about this and everyone was reacting on social media, they were in the middle of filming, she allegedly was offered a special. And allegedly, there was no offer of money to do that special. Huh? What? Huh? What? Wait, what? Huh? Allegedly. Not offered anything to do the special. And the special would end up airing around the reunion. So she would not be at the reunion. And I kind of think, I'm not saying this is fact, this is me, in my opinion, this is not what the sources are telling me, but in my opinion, I feel as if Brit was pulling, I don't feel comfortable, I don't want her there. Because we've seen some of that behavior in these last few episodes, so I wouldn't be shocked that the reason why Kenya was invited, then disinvited, was because of Brit saying, I don't feel comfortable, I don't want her there. That's how I feel. Okay? So according to the source, Kenya allegedly was offered a special, but not invited to the reunion. And after hearing more about this, I said to myself, so Bravo just wants ratings because you don't want to resolve this issue. You don't want to continue to work with Kenya. And that's their choice. I can understand that. But you don't want to resolve the issue. And that should always be the point of an employer and if you want to continue to work with someone. That, again, for me, is just saying that they don't want to necessarily continue to work with Kenya if they're not willing to resolve this issue, or at least not in the capacity of Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right? So, anyway, I feel as if Bravo, because we've talked about how Brit is wrong. We've talked about how Kenya is wrong. And we talked a little bit based off of Kenya's recent video, how Bravo was wrong and how they handled this situation. They didn't handle this situation appropriately because if you really wanted to resolve this issue between two coworkers, you would have sat down with these two coworkers or bartered some sort of conversation, apologies between these two coworkers. It's the same way that we saw they try to do with Brit. I don't think that was Brit initiating that, because Brit came apologetic after Kenya, as she said in her video, complained. She complained to the showrunner, and then she also complained to the production company. I'm wondering if it's the HR department, whatever it may be. So the fact that they wanted to do a special with Kenya, allegedly, okay, and allegedly not pay her for it, says to me that y'all wanted to profit off of a special because, Team Toro would have been watching that, all right? And advertiser dollars, they make millions off of these episodes, y'all. They make millions off of the season. So I find that to be interesting. So you just wanted to do a special as opposed to really resolving the issue, which is what they always say at reunions. You come into the reunion, you have a conflict, and what they like to do at the end of it is have resolution. We've seen him do it even recently with the Real Housewives of New Jersey ladies. Remember, I've said this before, when Teresa has appeared on the show or Melissa appeared on Watch What Happens Live, even then, it felt like he was trying to see, is there any hope to bring these women back to New Jersey? And I just feel like the effort in regards to this doesn't feel the same. And again, that's not making excuses for anyone. That's not making excuses for it's not making excuses for Brit's actions or Kenya's actions. So then there's that. All right, moving on. So that if you want more on that, I talked about that on our Club Kempire podcast. So shout out to those of you that have joined our Club Kempire podcast. That is a paid subscription through Apple Podcasts. Even if you don't have an Apple product, you can subscribe via their website. I talked about that. I talked about Got to Get Out, that new reality show. I talked about The Handmaid's Tale. I gave you a nice, juicy episode this week. If you're a part of Club Kempire, let me know in the live chat if you've listened, or if you're part of the replay crew, let me know if you listened, because that was a nice, juicy episode. I sat down and I gave you very Club Kempire vibes. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. All right. Gracie, thank you so much for the super chat. Gracie says, is that why she chose Tamron Hall? Maybe. I mean, that's a good question. Is that why Kenya decided to do those interviews that she ended up doing after the incident? She went on Tamron Hall. She did the Shade Room. Okay, hold on. Who's acting up in the chat? Mama Allie says, we do not need to tell each other to shut up. Please be respectful. Ignore comments you don't like. Yes, please do, because I'm on a banning spree. So, normally around here it takes a lot to get banned, but if you come at anyone left or me left, you will get banned. So tread lightly. I'm in the right one. I'm in the right mood. Because please understand, me coming live, I don't have to come live. I could pre-record a lot of the stuff that I do. All this stuff I could have pre-recorded. I don't have to be live. I don't have to do a live chat. I don't. I do that because I like to commune with our community. All right? And you make our jobs for our community and our King's Guards a lot harder. If you don't like something, you don't have to be here. Exactly, Theo said. You get a ban, you get a ban, you get a ban. We already banned 2 people this week. I could count on one hand the amount of people that we banned in the last year. So stop it. All right, moving on. Stop messing up the vibe. It's my birthday season. Come on. Stop messing up the vibe. Look, I swear I can dance. I'll just do that for jokes, for kicks and giggles. Okay. Megan says, who's saying shut up like children? We don't moderate. And that goes for the replay crew too. I mean, by the grace of God, we have a huge community and we get thousands of comments a day. So I really don't go back and read comments. If I posted a video, I'll go back and read like the early comments, or if I have time and if I'm on the train or something like that, and I'll go back and I'll look at comments for a video of that day or one of our recaps, and that I'll respond to comments. And that's also a membership portion as well. If you are a member, I see your comments first. There's a section where I can see your comments exclusively. So I'm able to get to your comments and see your comments first. All right, moving on. Let's get to the Nene of it all. So Nene is going to be more consistent. Literally, Nene is premiering. Look, we're going to help promote Nene. Nene is premiering a new interview with Slutty Vegan, the owner of Slutty Vegan. So Pinky Cole. So she's being consistent. She even put out a schedule. Nene, thanks for watching. I think they're watching. Well, I know production watches, so I know these housewives are watching. All right. They might not admit it to you, but they're watching. But anyway, so she has a new interview with Pinky Cole out today. I'm sure it's coming it's like probably premiering now. Okay. But you can either stay here or come back and watch the replay of this, or you can continue here because we're going to talk about Nene's latest video where she's responding to the backlash. Okay. And I think it's some of the things that we said, which it's fine. I much rather say these things. I'm not saying these things to be malicious. I know some of the fans, what are the Nene fans called? The Nenes? Nene's Rise. All right. Nene's Rise. I'm not saying these things to be malicious. I'm saying these things, especially the last video that I did where I was talking about Nene's interview with Latasha Scott. I'm saying those things to make you better because I do see that you have potential. You have an audience. You have people that are interested. I'm never, ever going to give critique if I'm not trying to help you. I don't have to say anything. I don't. There's plenty of things for us to talk about, review, and move on from. All right, let's take a look at Nene's video. All right.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl.
Okay, first critique. This is going to help. First of all, you need a mic. You need a mic. More important, and this is going to help all the up-and-coming content creators as well. Audio is far more important than your video. I know that doesn't say, go check out some of these other people that specialize in content creation and teaching people how to be better content creators. Audio is so important. All right. This is not me changing the audio. Yes, there's going to be a little bit of an echo, but no. I can't mute it now. But here, Miss Carolyn says the audio is terrible because she's probably recording this from her phone or from her laptop, and probably an older laptop because these newer laptops, when I've been abroad and I've recorded and gone live from my laptop, it's because I've invested in an actual good MacBook Pro, okay, that has good quality audio and a good quality camera. But I'm okay with the camera, but the audio. Maybe she should have recorded this inside where there was less outside noise. But it's okay. So that's my first lesson for some of you, okay?
Nene Leaks with the life of Nene. Thank you and welcome back. Yes, it's been a minute since we sat and had.
And she's probably looking at herself as opposed to looking at the lens. Another lesson. But I have to say the lighting is good. All right. I don't know if I would be out on the terrace where people can kind of make out where you are. Have you ever seen any of those videos on TikTok where that you show a smidge of something and then there's this guy, he'll show you how he figures out where exactly you are? Like, wait a minute.
The life of Nene. So each and every week I am going to try and do a review of each episode from the Nene Leaks show. I know I always ask you guys to send me comments and questions to booknene@gmail.com. I try to answer as many as I can. Now, I can't answer them all, but I do try to answer as many as I can. So I want to start this episode by saying growth is a beautiful thing. Listen, honey, growth is a beautiful thing. Thank you, Jesus, for giving me growth, honey. Some of the questions and comments that you guys send me, honey, is only God that has me where I am just like, listen, I'm not going to even say nothing. I'm not going to even respond like that, okay? But, yeah, growth is a beautiful thing. So I just want to go over some of the comments that I received. One of the things that I received a few times from people were, Nene, you need to know your guests before you interview.
This is an important part because a lot of people, including myself, that said, damn, Nene, you didn't even know the basics about your guest, Latasha Scott. She didn't address in this video the cringy response that she had about Latasha Scott's son being the child of her current husband, who she's been with for 30 years. But okay.
On the Nene Leaks show, for the guests that I do not know, I want to get to know them. So I don't want to dig into their background or their history. And so Latasha Scott was my interview that we're going to talk about today on the Nene Leaks show. I did not know Latasha. I met her once at a Housewives filming. So when we asked Latasha to come over to the Nene Leaks show, I wanted Latasha to be able to tell her story. Whatever that looked like, tell your story. I knew very little. One of the things that some of you guys do not know about me is I do not watch TV. If I speak on most things, clips or anything, it's something that I've seen, a 30-second clip that comes down social media. I do not watch TV at all. So let's be very clear about that. I don't even know the name of TV shows. And the craziest thing is there's a lot of big A-list celebrities out in Hollywood. I don't even know their name. Okay? I could be standing right beside them and won't even know who they are because I don't watch television. Okay, back to Latasha. So with Latasha, I wanted to get to know her. I knew that there was an issue with her husband. I knew there was an issue with Escape. I knew there was an issue with her sister. I wanted her to tell me about the situation. I didn't know things like she was a mom, but I didn't think that there was anything wrong with that because I don't know her. I wanted her to tell me about her life. Hey, I started.
Here's the thing. Again, for those that are up and coming and want to become a good interviewer, journalist, whatever it may be, Nene, this is her approach. She's going to learn very quickly. That is going to turn even the biggest Nene fans off because you waste time on basic questions when you can get to deeper questions. Yes, you want to get to know someone, but if you know the basics, you can skip over that and get to the deeper questions because the basic questions are going to get you caught up on not asking more well thought out questions because you have to remember the people that are watching your channel know the basics. They do watch television. I feel like this is her just making excuses for the criticism as opposed to just owning it and learning from that.
when I was 11 years old and I was in the church. I met these girls in school. I met my husband. I'm a mom. Like, these are the kind of things that I wanted to know because I did not know her. So I don't feel like I needed to be like over prepared for the interview, because to me it would also seem a little bit produced, and I don't want to do it.
Over prepared for the interview? No, you are very under prepared for the interview. And this part, she mentioned she didn't want the interview to feel too produced. There's still a way of doing your research without your interviews feeling overproduced.
That's produced. And I really did want the viewers to get to know her. I did have the basic questions, but for whatever reason, I didn't have that she was a mom on my cards. So there's a lot of different people out here interviewing, and everybody have different interview styles. And so my style of interviewing will be just real and regular. I don't want to be over prepared. I'm okay if there's a mistake made here and there. I also got comments about me reading from the card. Well, where else am I going to read from? Okay?
Sorry, that made me laugh. Where else am I going to read from? And yes, a lot of people have their cards. Andy Cohen has his cards. Oprah has her card. But they aren't like this the entire interview. And as the person is mid their answer, you're already looking at your next question. It's okay. And I said this, if you watch my recap of her Latasha Scott interview, I said it's okay to have your cards, but to rely heavily on your cards is a no-no. That's also part of research. That's also part of preparation. Getting familiar with what's on your card so that you can have a natural conversation as opposed to a question, answer, question, answer, question, answer.
Are things that you just have to have on cards. Like, every person that interviews have cards. So I have some comments and some questions and things written on the cards that I can say, but in general, I would prefer to not even hold cards because it really keeps me from being my real authentic self. So I'm okay with anybody coming on the Nene Leaks show and I'm not being fully prepared or fully not prepared, I would say. I don't fully know them in the way that maybe some of you might know them. I also saw a comment where somebody said that I spoke on one son or...
She definitely watched our review. I'm sorry. Because we talked about that. We definitely talked about that. I'm not to say that other people didn't talk about the same things, but remember that I said that stood out to me. I was like, that was interesting that she spoke about her youngest son, but not her oldest son. And we know her oldest son has had some struggles and he's been in the news and whatnot. And I thought maybe that might have been part of the motivation, but I just thought it was interesting. She explains why she did that.
One grandchild and didn't speak on the other. Okay, listen, let's be very clear about when it comes to my glam babies and my sons. Everybody know I'm a boy mom. I have two sons. Love them the same. There's no difference in them. One is older than the other. One is at home. One is not at home. Okay? Both have children. My youngest have one child. So when Latasha said to me that her son was 27, I said my son is 25. So I was only saying that because they were in the same age group. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, you didn't mention the other son in the same breath that you mentioned, the younger son. I don't have to speak on my children. In fact, my children are not even interested in the entertainment industry. Me speaking on my children or my glam babies, first of all, these kids have their own mothers, so I'm not in control of these kids. Their mothers are the ones that are in control. They had them, let's be very clear. So I make it clear to anybody that any of my glam babies' mom, I'm a young mom my own self. I had my kids in my early 20s. I work. I am a provider. I'm not a babysitter. I'll help whenever I can help. But these are choices that they made the same way I made.
It should also be noted that her oldest son's baby's mother have slammed Nene in the press before and things like that. So I can understand why she might not want to mention their children and things like that. I understand that.
a choice to be a mom at 21 years old. Okay, and I had to do whatever it is that I had to do. I love all of my glam babies. I love my sons. There's no one has anything over the other. Okay, the mothers are in control. I don't have full say so. These children are minors, so it's not like I can just do whatever I want to do when it comes down to these kids. And besides, we have to worry about these children's safety, okay, more than anything else, okay? So I love them all, and trust and believe, I take care of quite a few, okay? Me, myself, and I ain't gave birth to none of them, okay? But I love them all the same. So just know that where my kids and glam kids are concerned, I'm just off limits. Just off limits. You might see my kid, or you may see one of my glam babies on set, or even over on the Nene Leaks show here and there. I don't know. You guys will just have to wait. I was asked to do the Nene Leaks show over and over and over again by my fans and followers, and I want to just be able to do the show and you guys enjoy it. I don't want any of my guests to come on the show and feel like it's a got you moment, because that's not what we're trying to do.
I don't think anyone has said that's what we wanted her to do with I was about to call her Latasha, and I said it anyway, damn it. I don't think that is what we wanted. We wanted you to actually, if you're going to do an interview, you can still have a fun, interesting interview without really going there with Latasha. But people's criticism was the fact you're going to ask her questions about what's been in the news, but you're not going to give a follow-up. If you're going to be an interviewer, people are expecting not what we've already seen Latasha say in interviews. We're expecting you to be like, okay, well, we've heard that, but here's the follow-up. It doesn't have to be a gotcha moment. I mean, with Latasha give you the truth? Probably not. Okay.
I had to do a great show where people are able to come over and tell their stories. Okay, so I did get comments about how the show looked, how the show sounded, how was my makeup. Okay, again, we are new. Everything you guys see.
I thought the set was fantastic. I didn't think that was bad. I can't remember the sound. I think the sound is definitely better than this video. But yeah, for the most part, I felt like the set was fantastic. I think the lighting was great. The set looked professional. I didn't have any criticisms in regards to the set. I think the set was definitely good.
I see. I got two big old eyes. I watch everything. I know when my hair's out of place. I know when the makeup artist didn't do their thing, or the makeup they didn't do great TV makeup. I know when the sound is off.
Do you know when the sound is off? Because the sound for this is definitely off. We're hearing trucks.
When the producers should step in, I get it. But again, we are new, and we are working on a lot of different things to try to be as great as we can and as good as we can for you guys. Now, I'm not saying all this stuff to say that I do not want you guys' comments. I want your comments. I want your questions. All of this stuff is going to help us to grow and be better. But I also want to ask for you guys to be patient with us and work with us. People are sending in lists of people I should interview. We have interviewed a lot of people. You guys just haven't seen them yet. But we will be dropping the interviews every Wednesday. Okay?
I love that, because that was also one of our criticisms. Nene, you watched. I hope you liked the video. I hope you subscribed to the video. Here's the thing. That was also one of the criticisms that we had in our review of Nene's interview with Latasha, was the fact that we need to know a schedule. Is it going to be once a month? Remember, the first episode was over a month ago before we got the second episode. So I like the fact that she gave us an actual a schedule of when we can expect these interviews in episodes of the Nene Leaks show. So every single Wednesday, today's Wednesday, her new interview with Pinky Cole is now available on her YouTube channel. You're welcome, because look, why am I going to gatekeep? I'm going to help you promote your YouTube channel. And my criticism of you, again, was not to be malicious. It was to help. Just saying.
So just know that we are doing help.
Hold on. And I think I can be someone to give advice. 532,000 subscribers later. Okay. All right. Anyway, I accidentally rewound.
Of Atlanta episode. I've said it once. Okay. I will not. You can just stop asking me.
Hold on.
You guys just haven't seen them as we can and as good as we can for you guys. Now, I'm not saying all this stuff to say that I do not want you guys' comments. I want your comments. I want your questions. All of this stuff is going to help us to grow and be better. But I also want to ask for you guys to be patient with us and work with us. People are sending lists of people I should interview. We have interviewed a lot of people. You guys just haven't seen them yet. But we will be dropping the interviews every Wednesday. Okay? So just know that we are doing everything that we could possibly do to give you guys the best that we could possibly give you. I know many of you asked if I would review the Real Housewives of Atlanta episodes every week. I will not. Okay.
And I like that. I like the fact that she said she was, because someone had called in and said that they were going to do that she was going to do that. I was glad to find out that she said she's not going to do that. Sidebar, if you're a member of the channel, I did drop the call-in link on the post tab for those that want to sound off on what we just talked about. We will be taking callers after this video. We still have a couple more minutes in this video, and then we're going to take some callers, and then I got to get out of here. It's 1234 here in New York City. Just saying, angel numbers.
I will not, you can just stop asking me that. I will not review the Housewives episodes every single week. I might comment a little bit here and there, but that is not the goal of the Nene Leaks show for me to, you guys got enough people out there reviewing the Real Housewives of Atlanta episodes. So there's no reason for me to review.
I'm sorry, this made me laugh. Stop it, Melissa. Melissa says, is she doing the video on the street and the background is a green screen? No, she's on her terrace. I don't know where she was, or in a hotel, or I don't know, because I saw some video of her hanging out with Peter Thomas. When is Peter Thomas going to jail? And she was hanging out with that guy Naomi still, like this on again, off again relationship with him. So no, she's on her terrace. So that's the background noise that you're hearing. Just saying. Okay. All right. So it's not a green screen. I'm sorry.
I have my own opinions about it. I will keep them to myself. Every now and then you may hear me say something, but I'm not interested in reviewing the Real Housewives of Atlanta episode. I've said it once, twice, 10,000 times. I'll say it again. I wish them all the best. And I hope they have a great, prosperous season. I was also asked if I have any issues with any bloggers or content creators. I have no issues. If there's any content creator or any blogger that is saying that they have an issue with me or I...
This was definitely not me. I never said I had an issue with Nene. Maybe with the Nenes, but not with the Nenes.
have an issue with them, they are lying. I have no issues with no blogger, no content creator. And guess what else? I have no issue with no one, okay, at this time in my life. On the Real Housewives, the old Housewives, the ones that's coming in soon, I have no issue with them, okay? I may not see eye to eye with maybe one or two, but I don't have an issue, okay, with no one at all.
Not with Kenya either?
So anybody tells you that, that is a lie. I have no issues. Okay, yes, we may not be on the same page sometimes, but I'm not holding any grudges.
Or Candy?
As far as the bloggers are concerned, we do a segment on the...
Sidebar, why didn't she address, if you're going to recap the interview and the criticisms from the last interview, why didn't you address the whole conversation about you having an issue with Candy? I felt like that's what was missing from this video. Answer those questions. Like, why do you constantly keep coming for Candy?
Nene Leaks show called All Things Tea, where we invite bloggers, content creators that are reporting industry entertainment news.
And I love that. I love the fact that she is having that segment. I just don't want her interviews or those moments to feel as if the blogger or the guest is interviewing her. And that's something that I wouldn't say that she took from Wendy Williams, but yeah, the Wendy Williams influence is there because that's what Wendy used to do. She would have bloggers and news reporters, gossips come on and share the latest tea, and Wendy would react to it. All right. Guys, we have almost 1,000 likes. Let's get to 1,000 likes, and I will drop the call link for you guys in the live chat. But if you're a member of the channel, I've already dropped the call in link on our community tab. I see we got a couple people backstage already. All right. Foxy says, you should do a recap of RHOA with Nene. No. I don't even want her to recap the show. Why would I do that? All right.
To come over to our show and report. So we have so many of them that already have, and so many of them are emailing to come on the show and lead the All Things Tea episodes that we do. So every single episode will not have All Things Tea in it, but we always try to bring it to you at least a couple times a month. We are not just here to interview celebrities or public figures. We are interviewing a lot of people, and you will see as you continue to watch and support the Nene Leaks Show. I want to personally thank you guys for tuning in and watching the Nene Leaks Show. And,
yes, and as always, I will be citing my sources in the description, so you guys can go and check out both Nene Leaks' YouTube channel and Porsha Peach Juice Williams Sometimes Go Badia's YouTube channel. That was a mouthful. All right. Let me say thank you. We had quite a few super chats, and we appreciate your super chats, guys, but we also appreciate you liking the video, sharing the video, and becoming a subscriber. Thank you to all of you. We have over 2,000 people watching on YouTube and on Facebook, and those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter. If you're watching the replay of this, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on what we had to say, and don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire Podcast, and subscribe to our new Apple Podcast subscription, Club Kempire. Head on over to the Apple Podcast website or app, and you'll see an option to subscribe to our Club Kempire. I dropped a juicy episode last night. I talked about Got to Get Out. I talked about the Kenya stuff. I talked about the Real Housewives Potomac tea that I found. I also talked about some other stuff, a lot of stuff. It's a juicy mixed bag. It's not like the other episodes where I talked about the White Lotus, but if you are watching the White Lotus and you want to hear my thoughts, that's where they're available. If you remember here, I did drop the video versions weeks later after the original drop of those episodes. Sin, there we go. Thank you so, I don't know, what's that, Chin? Sin, thank you so much for the super chat. Sin says, I read on TVDs that they want to be done with Brit after the season and start over with Kenya next season. I haven't heard that, but you never know. You know, I do think that Bravo is being held against her will legally in regards to what happened with Kenya. Again, I feel like Kenya doing that just put power in Brit's hands, and it was the wrong person to do that or give that to. And that's when she answers that question about, do you feel like Brit, pushed you out of your spot? That's what I mean. She sort of did. Not sort of, she did. Tamara, thank you so much for the super chat. Tamara says, I feel like Kenya was done, like Garcelle was done in regards to her YouTube channel. I don't believe that, to be honest with you. Tamara says, do not respond to them, Kemp. They love it. You have how many followers? Case closed. Thank you so much, Tamara, for 3 super chats. Tamara says, you can't be a good interviewer if you are self-absorbed. That's true. Like, you have to have a passion to get to know someone. That's the thing about me. Like, I don't really love talking about myself. Yes, if you follow the channel, I do talk about myself. And a lot of you want me to talk more about myself. But my nature, especially as a tourist, I'm inquisitive. If I'm going to interview Latasha Scott, I already know a lot of stuff. I know what you know as well, because I know that you're watching this. It's not just about what I want to know, but there are answers that need to be answered in regards to an interview with her. I'm not interviewing her, so don't ask. Because she's just going to lie. And it's like, I can't. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Nicole says, sounds like she's on a tarmac. I think I saw my connecting flaw. Nicole, where are you going? I'm on connecting flight. I can't. I can't. That was hilarious. I think I see my connecting flight. Veronica says she don't want to do real work, no research. That's what it was giving, Veronica. I agree. It's giving lazy. And this is part of the reason why I feel like Nene hasn't had the success that she should have. No one, if you're new here and you think I'm just a Nene hater, no, I know what Nene is capable of. I know what Nene deserves. But at the same time, I don't feel like Nene is willing to do some of the work that would put her in that position. Because doing the Nene Leaks show on YouTube is fantastic. And it's a nice small bag. It's not giving you the bag of what you're going to get from Bravo. I mean, it could potentially, but you're not getting those types of views yet. HG, thank you so much for the super chat. HG says, I don't feel like it's a true passion for Nene. Exactly. Doesn't seem like she's cut out to interview and host a show. Maybe she should seek other endeavors. Again, I said when she did that collaboration with Bethany, she went to Bethany's home. She saw what Bethany, who started in the same business as her, and she see the life that Bethany is living with this estate. But she doesn't remember that Bethany hustled. Bethany had not just Housewives. She had a liquor brand that she sold for millions of dollars. It's not just Housewives. Tamara says, thank you so much for another super chat. Tamara says, 500,000 plus count. Boom. Thank you, Tamara. Keith, thank you so much for the super chats. Keith, you always said it. All of you, I appreciate the super chats, guys. We thank you. And thank you for those that send in cash apps, Venmos, get the merch. All the stuff, all the ways that you support the channel, we appreciate. So thank you. You helping us get to the bag. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. We appreciate the support. It helps keep us continue to elevate. A lot of the stuff that we make from here, we invest back into the YouTube channel. That's why y'all like the quality that you get over here. We're streaming in 4K. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch. Keith says, if only Nene didn't spend her prime RHOA years buying new teeth. Remember, she didn't buy them. Remember, they were given to her. She would be on Candy's level, just like her acting. I feel like YouTube is another fad. Ooh, for her. Okay. All right. We are almost at 1,000 likes. I am going to drop the call link for the general audience. But again, if you are a member, the access is available on the post tab. But let me put up my disclaimer for members. Please be mindful of the timer and derogatory comments, profanity, et cetera, et cetera. The opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. So be sure to check out the description in regards to our sponsors today as well. All right. Okay. Jack says that Nene should stick to scripted shows. She was better on those shows. She really was. She was good. I mean, she is an actress. She wants to be an actress. I think she would prefer to be an actress. But, acting for Black women in Hollywood is not, there's a lot of people vying for the same jobs, unfortunately, and they don't pay a lot. Taraji told us that. Taraji has been doing this a long time, and she's still not making what she's worth. So, yeah, then there's that. Did you guys see Porsha in that Lifetime movie? I only saw a clip. How was it? For those that watched it, this was a single Black female 3. How was it? Was she good in it? Should she stick to acting? I'm asking. All right. Miss Tina's backstage. I'm going to bring Miss Tina up first. Miss Tina, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
The skin is skinning, sir.
Butter. I did this right before the live.
Hey, I went to get the cloths and they're sold out.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll wait. Hey,
sorry. I'll reach out to them to ask them when those things are going to be restocked.
I appreciate it. You remember months ago I told you RHOA is turning into Love and Hip Hop.
Yes.
It's just, so I don't even watch it.
Oh.
I just wait for your reviews. Porsha to me is a little bit of biting off of Dr. Heavenly's YouTube. It's similar, so whatever. Nene, invest in taking some classes and interviewing, girl. It's not that, invest in yourself and quit the hand gesture. I was getting dizzy with her hands going in circles and I don't know. And the rambling on, people don't want to see you ramble. They want to see precise questions. And you have to do the research. We're not telling you to do salacious things, but at least know a little bit about the person you're talking to instead of things that your audience already knows and you sound like, you're kind of inept, girl. So let's get it together. But I am going to get my House of Kempire ball cap. I like the ball cap.
Right.
So
we had some cute hats. I love my hats. And I don't like to wear hats.
To Nashville or Atlanta.
We're trying. We're trying. Tell these venues to get back to us so we can
I miss
confirm.
you.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to bring you some biscuits that I make.
Okay. I mean, if you bring biscuits to the Atlanta show when it happens, let's make sure that we prioritize you get into the place first so I can eat it before the show so they're warm.
Oh, all right then.
Okay.
I'm coming from Chattanooga, so they might be kind of... I'll put them in a warmer bag.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. You know, I've always prioritized food. Okay. Coco Esquire's backstage. We're going to bring Coco up next. Coco, hold on. Uh-oh. There we go. Coco. What's going on, Coco? How come I can't hear Coco? Hold on. Coco? Hold on. Coco. Coco, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
I wanted to just say that, one, I don't know how anybody can ever hate Porsha. Porsha is classy. She's funny. Yeah, she can be a little bit loopy sometimes, but I think it makes for good TV. I definitely want to hang out with her. She seems fun, and I love how she's become more assertive as she stepped into her mother role. And now you see her just being like, I'm walking away. I'm not doing this. You need a moment, girl, buy whatever. I love that about her. Yeah. And Nene, unfortunately, just never grew up. And that's just embarrassing to see because she should have so much more. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coco. Take care. All right. Let me bring up, Comunicado. There we go. Comunicado, what's going on?
Oh, that was fast.
Yes. What's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Okay, so as regards Nene, I would say, okay, because you mentioned the comment about her talking about Porsha's son being from the husband. So I think probably why she may have done that is the fact that her first son, is not from Greg. So anyone who probably meets them saying Greg is an older man might just assume, oh, is Greg's son. So she probably didn't want to just make that same assumption about Latocha's crowd. So probably that's why. But beyond that, about I don't know if I can touch a bit on the Kenya interview, Kenya confessional that she did. Okay, so in that confession, now for me, I kind of feel like she drew under the bus a little bit. Because for the aspect of when Porsha said, a current housewife gave Kenya the tea. Porsha never stated the name. Nobody has brought Drew's name into it. It was Ming Lee and a couple of other people that was being thrown around. And all of a sudden, Drew is not thrown in there. So it's like, that for me, that just feels like you kind of put a target on Drew's back already. But beyond that, I feel like the current episode is quite good. Women are trying to pick up and trying to stand on their own. And I would like to see what they can all give. Yes, Brit is not bringing it, but I think we should all go beyond the whole Brit situation and try to look at the other ladies who are actually interested on the show.
Okay. All right, Comunicado, thank you for calling in.
Thanks, bye.
Bye. Speaking of the newbies, I did do a video. Again, I just remind you, mods, if we can post this, the video, I did a separate pre-recorded video talking about the recent legal trouble that Kelly Farrell is facing and some of the rumors that have been out there on the streets in regards to Angela Oakley. So I did a separate video yesterday talking about that. So be sure to check that out for those that wanted to hear more about that tea. All right. Tamara's backstage. We'll bring Tamara up next. Tamara, what did you want to share in regards to these updates in regards to Porsha Williams and Nene Leaks?
Hi, Kempy Kemp.
Hey.
Okay. I know this might sound rude, but Nene to me is like, it should not be called the Nene show. It should be called the Mimi show. I started watching the first 3 seasons of Housewives, and Nene has always been about herself. Like everything was centered around her. So I don't think her show will work because she's not an Oprah, she's not a Kempire. She's not somebody who wants to understand other people, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, it's not going to work. That's just my opinion.
You have no hope.
I don't.
Oh, damn.
Don't play that. You're funny.
I didn't expect that. You like there's no hope for her.
I don't see it. You have to have compassion for people to be a great interviewer. And she just, from the first 3 seasons I just watched, okay, sorry. She doesn't have it. You just, when you have it, you have it. Okay. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Tamara. We appreciate you calling in.
Love you. Bye.
And thank you for the super chats, Tamara. All right. Kiki's backstage. We're going to bring Kiki up next. Kiki, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So, you know what? I just love Porsha. Yeah, she has some like questionable ways, but you know, she's just made for entertainment. I feel like she doesn't try too hard. It comes easily for her. Like, I feel like she's someone fun to hang out with, you know, even whether it's virtually or, you know. Yeah, but is it just me or does it annoy you guys the way Brit talks? Like the way her lower lip moves and the way her dentition is, like the lower one. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they didn't do the veneers properly. I don't know. It just needs to be adjusted a little bit. But yeah, she annoys me. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Kiki. And Kiki says it's such a sweet voice. OMG. Lord. Okay, we're going to move on from that. Again, guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy. It's free way of supporting the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, Sin, thank you so much for another super chat. Sin says, I feel that Nene was forced to do the show because her and Ciara fell out and stopped doing their show. That was the word on the street. They were supposed to do their podcast, and last minute, allegedly, Ciara didn't show up. That's what the streets were saying. All that promo they did, what a shame. Yeah, because they flew to New York and they were doing promo on the Breakfast Club and things like that. But the minute I saw that, I was like, why are they doing promo together? Because I didn't know about the podcast. And when I heard about the podcast, I was just like, yeah. This I could have told you from go that this wasn't going to work. That this wasn't going to be a good combination. And I think it probably could work for Nene for where Nene lacks in regards to presentation. I feel like a counterpart probably would help her. Ciara wasn't it. And that's no shade to Ciara. I just don't feel like that pairing works. And you see how quickly that fell apart. Again, some of y'all think I'm new to this. No, I didn't just start during the pandemic. I've been interviewing people. When I interviewed Oprah, that was way before the pandemic. And I've interviewed hundreds of people, including Latasha, over the years. Sidebar, one thing I didn't mention to you guys, I don't know if this is fact, but I think part of the reason why Kandi never did an interview with me, not to say she wouldn't do one now, I haven't reached out for one in years, but I think part of the reason why Kandi didn't do an interview with me was because of my interview with Latasha from back when. If you want to hear that, it's on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. And I think that was because that interview was like one of our most popular interviews back then, because it was like one of the first times Latasha talked about Kandi and like one of the latest times, like in the last decade. And it got a lot of traction. And I think that was part of the reason why Kandi never did an interview with me back then. And that happens. And I can see Kandi being in her feelings about me interviewing her, probably thinking that I'm team her. I don't remember what I said in that interview. I need to go back and listen to it. But anyway, I appreciate you all being here. Again, don't forget you can hear our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast, including our new Apple Podcast subscription, Club Kempire. Subscribe today so you can hear my new juicy episode where I talk about the new reality show, Got to Get Out, The Handmaid's Tale. I talk more about the Potomac tea and the Kenya Moore tea. Be sure to check that out right now. And be sure to check out the description in regards to our collaborations with Butter and, of course, our Mother's Day collaboration with Rose Forever. That code will only last until Mother's Day. So go get you a little something for yourself or tell your loved one, your husband, your children, You want some roses that will last you at least a year. More information on that will be available in the description. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Keep liking the video. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know your thoughts. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. And of course, thank you to our subscribers. And those of you that are just watching in the bushes, that's fine too. We appreciate it. But subscribe because you're missing out on additional content from being a subscriber and joining our community. All right, y'all. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to kempireradio.com.